about. Can you hear me actually? Let me bring my microphone closer so you can hear me a bit better, hopefully. Okay, let me start again. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, and I'm XinRu. Today we are going to talk about how to learn Debussy's Clair de Lune from scratch to a performance level, step by step, using my layered piano learning methods. Okay, so where does this come from? It's just, do you ever feel like you don't know where to start when you ever start to learn a new piece? Like, this bothers me all the time when I was a teenager. Like, actually, it still bothered me when I was even in undergrad. Like, I was in the Royal Academy of Music, and it bothered me so much when I was learning new piece. Like, I didn't know how to learn it, and I didn't, which I could have learned so much faster. And the one thing which always confused me was there seems like there's no valid system telling us how to learn a piece from like totally new, from scratch, to actually performance level. Like, every time when we talk about performance, when we talk about music, when we talk about we want to make it sounds better, we want to make it sounds more musical and expressive, everyone comes to like, you got to put more feelings into it, you got to be talented, like you just it seems like it's born in you. And then if you were not born with it, then you're doomed. Then it's fine. It's done. You're not going to make it. But this is so wrong. Like, why music is a science, and music is something we can actually to make it happen by following a correct order and sequence. It's not something like a mystery. It's not a myth. And because I suffered so much during my postgrad and PhD at the academy, then, oh my god, this is actually just a step-by-step learning process. And by following the step, well, of course, I am not talking about the real artistry. Like everybody could probably write a good article if you follow the rules, if you follow the instructions. You probably write a pretty good story if you follow the instructions, if you follow the patterns. But like, it doesn't mean like you will become Tolstoy or you will become Dostoevsky. Like, the real artistry, yes, like you got to have your own music understandings, you got to make it, but if we just want to make a piece of music sounds good, it's actually not a very hard job, and it's not like as crazy or as mysterious or as like confusing as it always sounded like. So I want to share this my layered I want to share by using this method, and everyone can have a much more efficient and effective piano learning journey, and maybe even save some money for piano lessons. Who knows? Okay, so famous piece Clair de Lune as an example. Okay, so now the first thing I'm going to do now, I think I'm just going just a little bit of background. I didn't practice too much about this piece. This piece, I've learned it, but I didn't practice later. Everything is very, I have a framework of everything, so hopefully it's gonna be clear. Okay, now let's enjoy some music first, and then we start our step-by-step layered learning process. Okay, now everyone, this is the piece. This is the whole piece, and if you think this level is good, then like I can. Now I'm going to show you how did I learn this from scratch, from step by step, and then from a totally new piece up to right now. It's actually not that hard, and it didn't take too much time. So hopefully this would be helpful for you. Okay, just some technical check now. Can everybody still hear me, or it's just keep stopping? Can you hear my music, and can you hear my speaking? Is my sound clear or not? Why is this? Oh, okay, we hear you, but sometimes it's lagged up a bit. What's well, I don't know, up and down. What? But hopefully it works out. I will keep going. Tutorial and demonstration, and welcome to. Today I'm going to start learning. So before we talk about the first step, I need to clarify what is piano learning. Like everybody talks about, okay, we're going to start a new piece, and we jump right in to learn this piece. But did we actually learn that? Did we actually know what we are learning? So in my concept, oh my god, how do I do this? Can you hear me? I'm going to raise my voice because I can't drag my microphone so far away. Okay, so in my concept, there's two stages. So stage one. Stage one, we have learning, and then stage two, we have practicing. Very effective or efficient learning, or we didn't learn a piece as fast as we should. It's because we skipped the learning process and we jumped right into our practice. Okay, this is really the worst way of starting a piece. Like we don't just jump right in and we just start to raise the notes and then try a million of times and don't really understand what's happening with the music. As if every time we're doing it is our sight reading. Actually want to learn a piece. What we actually want to do is to make this learning happen first, and this is super important. So now we are going to talk about this. We are not going to talk about this. This is another method. Okay? This is wipe this off. Now we start to talk about learning. So if we want to learn, everybody who had piano lessons, you might have heard a lot of terms. You heard a lot of things. Like we always heard, you got to do your rhythm, you got to do your voicing, you need to change your touch, you need to take care of your tempo, your balance, your whatever, your everything, your character, your music needs to have the character. And then we try to put, and then the teacher starts to change. No, here is wrong, and then there is wrong, and then every time they say something like we don't even know. We even have the question like, why this time I come to you, you said I'm too fast. Next time I come to you, you said I'm too slow. Or last week you told me here is louder, and then the week after you told me you actually be softer. It's like, is this a random thing just based on how I feel? So what happened? Everything like this happened. It's because we didn't follow the step by step. It's like we haven't even know going to happen, and then we struggle so much. Like, make sense? Logical? Okay, now, so let's not practice learning. We're not going into the practice step yet. So I have method. Okay, now we come to step 1. You must think I'm going to talk about note. Okay, we're going to read notes now. Nope. After learning the piano for 25 years and after keep learning new pieces and I've worked away so much of wrong way of learning a piece, and I finally realized that the first step of me learning a piece was wrong. Now, read the note again. This is just because we didn't understand the piece. Like, it's like you read a paragraph or whatever. You just start to read to read the letters, to read the words, vocabularies from the beginning. Hope that one day you finally gonna understand what's happening by repeating reading. This doesn't work because you haven't done the job yet. Okay, so our first step, so layer number 1. How do I do this? Layer number 1. Layer 1. We do phrasing. Okay? So talking about phrasing, I don't know how much you understand. Oh, nice, good news. The connection is more stable now. I can see. Phrasing is where to where is one phrase for a piece of music. Like, for example, today we're learning Debussy, Clair de Lune, right? Let me start from the beginning again. So I am not going to add pedal, and I'm not going to add anything. No pedal, no dynamic, no musicality, no anything. I'm just going to play the notes and then play the rhythm. Okay, it's like a very basic thing. And then, and I'm going to show you where is our phrase 1. Keep going, then it goes to here. So the pattern changed from there to there, right? From here. Let me show you. So. And then the musical patterns changed. So from a melodic one, and then we change to a. So between the change, that's the boundaries between your phrase 1 and phrase 2. So now we got our phrase 1, and we will keep going. We keep going, and then we put phrase 2, phrase 3, and then to the end of the piece, we know how many phrases we have first. Okay, so before we actually start to do the job, let me explain why this is so important. Okay, why actually having know where to where is one phrase is so important. For one, it gives us a tone. One sentence, like if music is the language, if you're speaking this, like you know what you're talking about. You know, here to here is one sentence, and I'm going to keep going to the next sentence. So maybe I can take a breath between the two sentences. And then you stop right in the middle of the sentence, like, and then you stop here. Well, this Where is our one phrase, complete phrase, from the beginning of learning a piece helps us dramatically of understanding how the piece is structured, and helps us to shape it, get the correct tone of it in the future steps as well. This is the first reason. Second benefit is once we know this piece has 9 phrases, then you know, oh, okay, if it has 9 phrases, and I don't need to play from the beginning to the end, and I have no idea what I end up with after 3 months, like maybe I still play like this after 3 months, you wouldn't have this concern anymore. Like, you know, okay, I have 9 phrases here. Well, so you have a clearly timeline to structure and design your practice, and to actually, you know, give yourself some repeating the same piece and hope one day it will come. That doesn't feel very good, isn't it? Okay, so that's, and it's actually, if we want to get to the artistic level, phrasing also helps us. it's quite complicated. Let's see from the basic for now. Okay, so now we use this piece as an example. Okay, we use Clair de Lune as an example, and then we're going to phrase when we're going to do every phrase. Okay, so I'm going to change my camera angle now, so you could actually see where do I put as my, yeah. I need another angle. I need another camera. Okay, anyway, no money. Always have second option. Okay, so now you get my piece, right? This is my music. Yeah. Sorry. My bad. Okay, this is my music. Yeah. Okay, now I'm not going to use any pedal. Let's just phrase it first. So up to here, I would put myself phrase 1. So I put a little, you see, I put a little phrase 1 mark here. So we know from the beginning to here is our phrase 1. Okay, now the end of the phrase 1 is the start of phrase 2. And counterpoint music, like the start of phrase 1, the end of phrase 1 doesn't necessarily mean it's the classical period composers, not contemporary, but like with those composers normally it is. Okay, now we keep going. I probably put my phrase 2 here. This is the end of phrase 2. Okay, at the beginning of your learning, like you could choose to run through the piece, like do a side reading from the beginning to the end. That's the only side reading you do. Okay, so not do from the beginning to the end and then repeat it again. So you can go from the beginning to the end. If it's not too hard, you feel like you can handle it, you can just start from the beginning to the end and keep doing it. So, and then mark your phrase. Okay, now we keep going. No? Are you talking about reading music problem or like, okay, this music is a bit too hard for me, and then for my first learning or first reading, I couldn't just read this through. It's just impossible. Then you don't really need to play it through. You can put, like, there are tons of recordings everywhere nowadays. You can just put a recording on, and then you start to do. There they did another. Keep. Okay, the search link. You mean the search link? Okay. Wait. Oh, hey. Okay, now we keep going. So we have our phrase 3 now. It's here, and then now we keep. Like clearly up to here is another phrase, right? Here is our phrase 4. Sometimes a phrase can be longer. Sometimes a phrase can be shorter, and then if you feel a phrase is too long but you still feel like the music doesn't really come to an end. It's 5. Okay, I leave the rest of it to do maybe by yourself. Okay, because I realize I can't possibly talking about every detail in this live stream, otherwise it's going to last for like 10 hours. So yeah, this is phrasing. Am I making it clear? If I make it clear, put 1 in the comment, so in the chat, so I know it's clear. Okay, then we move on now. Okay, so let's assume we did all our phrasing now, and then everything. We know how many phrases we have. Okay, now what do we do next? Okay, we assume we have all the phrases done, and what do we do next? Okay, then the next step is actually coming to everyone knows it. We start to read the notes. Okay, so next layer. We start to read the notes. Okay, this is very common sense. Like I'm not teaching you how to read notes, where is middle C, such things. We're not doing such stuff here. Okay, so yeah, that's all. Okay, and then read notes is like relatively easy, so I'm not going to teach you how to read notes. Okay, let's. Okay, now once you think, she's going to talk about rhythm now, add rhythm in to make this piece sounds like it. Nope. Once you got your note, figure out your fingering. Actually, I put this in the layer 2 as well. Fingering. That's your layer 2. Okay. So, like actually your note at this step, at this layer, you want to find out, okay, what finger works the best for me. Okay, I'm using 2 4 5, and then 2 4, and then 1 3 3 4. So like try to like make sure you have your fingering, and you balance things as well. So like which finger you use most comfy, use that one. Okay, because once you start to do it, like it's just gonna cause you a lot of troubles. And then most of the technical problem actually is the fingering problem. Like most of the technical problem can be solved by changing your fingering and change your strength flow. Okay, we haven't talked about strength flow yet, but we will come to there. Okay, now, so we talk about fingering, and another very, very important thing about fingering is once you've designed your fingering, you've got to stick to it. Okay, so you can't like day one, I play my phrase one, I use one finger, and then day two, I change. You can't change your fingering once you designed it. So once you design it, you stick to your fingering. And that's the only way to form a muscle memory. Otherwise, you will never have a muscle memory. Okay. Okay, now fingering. This is fingering and in my videos. Layer. Finally, we come to the rhythm. Okay, about rhythm, it's not only about how long I should hold each note. When we learn the rhythm, we go to start from beep. Okay, so for example here, Clair de Lune, we have 9/8 here, right? So 9 quivers. Unless it's like super complicated rhythm, you want to separate them and then break them down into like super small pieces and then like explain one by one. Unless that happens, that was the case. Otherwise, you don't break them down. You don't beat like 9 quivers. You do 3 big beats. That's in music theory. Okay, that's like even grade 5 music theory talk about one group. Then you got this is so I have 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah. So I haven't added anything to the music yet, but I know rhythm is a very basic and fundamental things, and a lot of people think rhythm is like super important, and sometimes it can decide a lot of further more complicated scales and stuff. Like especially for romantic pieces, like when you try to start to learn to play like musically or romantically or expressively or whatever, like most of the people, the number one problem is the rhythm. Don't really understand what rhythm like actually works from the beginning. That means like that's because like at the beginning of your study, you didn't really of your learning process, you didn't really understand the rhythm, like put everything together, like very like very steadily putting a house, and then like something at the foundation of your house has a little problem, and then that causes it's super important. You really, like for most of the legacy pieces, we really don't need to do that much rubato as we thought we should. Like for like Clair de Lune, we don't really need to do like this is not good, because by adding a lot of extra rubatos, by adding a lot of extra stuff, we actually lose so of the rhythmical tension of the music as well. So we lose so much that we actually get. What did we get actually? We get like a freestyle of playing, and then which is most probably wrong. We do a lot of rubatos. So what we talk about? We talk about no phrasing, note and fingering. That's our layer 2, and we talk about rhythm. And so once you found your fingering, you stick to it. Once you found your rhythm, you stick to your rhythm. And adding rubato and adding whatever is in your future steps is not what's happening right now. Okay. Okay. And now, in case we don't know what's happening, sounds like this now. You're learning, always have a pose in your heart. You got to have a steady pose like in your heart. You got to know, like, is it better now? Can you still hear me, or is it still stopping from time to time? Let me know if there is any technical problem. Okay, so good. So this is our beat. Okay, now it's the result after. Okay, good. Now we got this, and then this doesn't sound really nice, isn't it? It sounds like, but it's a good foundation. So it's a good draft to work on. It's like if you are doing a sculpture, and that's a good piece of stone. You can actually like do some work on top of it. Okay, and now we come to our next layer. Very simple thing. Layer number 4 is here. Our layer number 4 is dynamic. Okay, talking about dynamic, and everybody think, we know about dynamic. Like dynamic is just, we play loud, we play soft, like it's not a big deal. We see P, we play soft. We see PP, we play softer. We see PPP, we play even softer. No, it's actually not. It's simple, but in a way, you need to be very aware of it. Like a lot very advanced pianists. When I was a student, I found like a lot of very advanced students, even in conservatory level, they sometimes ignore this very basic thing. Like, I myself, I did the same mistake as well. I used to play, if you know Schumann Clair de Lune or not, this one. This is Schumann Clair de Lune number 3. Okay, so it's a piano 3. I'm going to talk about is when I was learning this piece had a theme coming back at the 3rd page, and then the 1st page. Okay, but when the theme comes back actually, and Schumann wrote MF, but exactly the same note, and then Schumann wrote. Okay, so by changing this dynamic, he actually wants to convey 2 different characters, or at least 2 different feelings through the same melody or same music. But after so many things happens in the middle, and it's like most of the people, the music back again, so I go back to P, and then it just make all the structure very, very messy, and it doesn't really show a difference. And by changing the dynamic and then make each layer super clear, like we change a lot of things, trust me. Like for example, so how many dynamic levels do we have actually? So normally we have PPP, PP, P, MP, and then we have levels. Okay, now let me use all these levels to play the Debussy Clair de Lune Phrase 1, and you hear the difference. You hear how much difference it actually make to the same melody. Okay, so now so louder goes, if it's a F F F, then it goes. XinRu would sound like this, right? This is quite unacceptable. Well, as considering what the piece is actually talking about, it's unacceptable. But if the piece is like, so it's all, yeah, it's this thing. It can decide a lot of things. Okay, I'm not going to do like double F. F is kind of the same idea. Now let's go to MP. I'm going to make these 4 levels very clear. I'm going to do MP, and then make you hear P, and then PP, and then PPP. So you hear the way what we want to do. We want to make each dynamic range super clear to our audience. So if we are doing F, they can tell we are in F area. If we are doing MF, they can tell we are in MF area. If we are doing MP, they can tell P, PP, PPP. We go to P. Now we drop again, we go to PP. Okay, you see, simply by changing my volume, I didn't add anything else. I just simply changed my volume, same melody, same, same everything. Yeah, so this is really powerful. And like, yes, we have 8 levels most of the time. Okay, we don't talk about like crazy contemporary have 5 Fs, like 8 levels, a million Fs. No, this is not in our consideration for now. Just like classical music, normal music, like 8 dynamics levels are quite dramatic already. But not every piece has 8 dynamic levels. Okay, so when you start to learn your dynamic and then we find the quietest point of this whole music. So the quietest point of this Clair de Lune is in bar 66, we have a triple P. In bar 51, we have a triple P. And that's it. Okay, and then we find the louder point. So we see what level we have is the louder in bar 41. This means we only have PP, PP, MP, MF, and levels in this piece. Instead of we need to know make range I can play. Like for example, if your loudest is and then your softest is okay, then you can divide equally. And then you know clearly, oh, what level is my P, what level is my F, what level is my PP, what level is my PPP. And then you start to, that you apply each of your dynamic level into the piece based on the writing. Yeah, so this is like it's easy to create a lot of like control over the keyboard, over your power. It's a quite delicate job, and also it takes time to train yourself to actually give your power into the piano to be able to make a bigger sound. This is already a bigger sound. Okay, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You just need to divide your bigger sound and then the smaller sound, and then divide 6 levels between this range, and then apply each of the range. The bigger ability we have in dynamics, in terms of dynamic, the better or the more dramatic the music, the sound. But that takes it's technical thing. We're not going to talk about technical thing today, and that comes later. Okay, we focus on like the learning process today. This beginning of phrase 1, our dynamic is PP. So after adding layer number 4 into the music, into phrase 1, our phrase 1 sounds like this now. Okay, so this is our result after layer number 4. And it still doesn't sound very nice, okay, but it's better than layer number 3, isn't it? It's got a bit of the, at least it got the musical vibe already. But it still sounds very stiff and it doesn't sound very nice. And layer, okay, for this is very like optional. Articulation is very much depends on what piece you're doing. Like this layer 5. Articulation. Okay, so in some of the piece, you don't have that much difference in articulation. Like this one, Clair de Lune, this is not very complicated in articulation at all. Like we just connect everything. It's all legato, legato. We don't have like any staccato or small slur. The common for articulation, I would say, like I think mostly we know this for articulation. And the for articulation includes number 1 includes legato, staccato, and portato, and small slurs. This is like common knowledge again, right? It sounds like, oh, everybody knows this. Okay, but now, like, you can hear how much difference it can actually make to the music. Okay, so what if I do Clair de Lune in staccato? How the music would sound like, and how the character would actually change. It sounds like adding any like further layers yet. Just like we keep layer number 4 dynamic, so we were that level, right? We keep that, but we make the articulation staccato, and then the piece sounds like this. Listen. Sounds like this now. Oh wow, it's such a different piece, isn't it? Like if I am not telling you this is Clair de Lune, probably you wouldn't even think of it, wouldn't you? Okay, now if I do portato, then this piece. If I do small slur, it can sound like this. You see, the articulation itself changed so much of the, really means a lot of things. Okay, like I was practicing Chopin etudes, Oops, number 10, if you know it, and it sounds like this. And then this is phrase 1. Okay, phrase 2, it goes all all small slurs. So first one is legato. First two is small slur, putting emphasize. I think if I remembered correctly, we have staccato. Like this. So you see the piece, like it's like similar melody, but just by changing your dynamic, changing your articulation, and then the character of the piece change like dramatically. So it's like, again, not like every piece has a lot of like articulation change, but this is very common in Mozart, classical music, in Beethoven, like. So you have staccato, staccato. Okay, if I play this is Beethoven Sonata number 6. If I play everything staccato, it sounds like very different, isn't it? So, okay, so I know the Clair de Lune doesn't have so many about this, but it's very important layer to add. Okay, now we go to our layer 5, and up to this layer. After adding this layer 5, our piece sounds like this now. Rhythm. Like, let's just review it. We have phrasing first, and we have notes and fingering. That's in layer 2, and we have articulation. Only these 5 layers right now, and we added one by one in order, right? Now it sounds like this. Not bad already, isn't it? After adding this, we actually reached what I called the foundation level. Okay, so congratulations, you finally reach a foundation level of a piece. So okay, the reason that I called it the foundation level is because up to this layer 5, all the things we did was very explicitly, clearly indicated by the composer, right? So the composer wrote the phrasing, like, he doesn't tell us. Of course, we got to understand it, but the composer knows where its phrasing. He showed us by using musical language like harmonic cadence and music patterns. Okay, we know the phrasing. The composer tell us. Notes, of course, we are not composing, so the composer wrote the notes. That doesn't take like, it's not like musical interpretations, right? Okay, then the composer wrote us the rhythm. We didn't write the rhythm. We didn't get to design the rhythm, do we? The composer write the dynamic. We didn't design the dynamic as well, right? Okay, the composer wrote the articulation too. Like, okay, at some point, at some situation, yes, the composer didn't write so much stuff. Like something like they didn't write everything in detail, and we go to like that's the most like famous composers in classical music. They have quite specific requirements in all those 5 layers. Okay, so up to here, what we can learn, what we actually do, it's all from the composer's instruction. And that's why I called it the foundation level. Okay? This is the foundation level. I don't really want to make it sound even better. I'm okay with it. like as long as I can play it. You stop at this level. Okay, you stop after you add layer 5, and then you put a cap on top of it. We always have a cap. This cap is performance level. We have artistry level. Like that's even more requirements and layers to add. Okay, performance level. We're going to go up to performance level today. Okay, but if you say, okay, I'm okay, like the foundation level, it sounds pretty good to me already. I don't want to put so much effort, so much time, so use so much everything just to reach, like, just to make it sound better. It's too boring, or, you know, I couldn't be bothered. That's okay, as long as you know where you are. That's okay, okay? And then you put a cap. I always think of my learning process as a pyramid. Yeah, so it got 3 levels. The pyramid triangle. Yeah, this one is the artistry level. Okay, sorry, I did something wrong. We need a lot of layers to get to the artistry level. And then the bottom one is the foundation level, which if you want to play a piece properly, everybody at least need to get to this level. And then this one is the performance level. We are going to cover up to here today, okay? This as a pyramid. So foundation level has like 5 layers, right? After your layer 5, if you don't want to go upstairs, no problem at all. We don't need to go up. But if we just stop at a foundation level, so which means we do the correct notes, we do the correct phrasing, we do the correct notes, and we do correct fingering, rhythm, dynamic, and articulation. On top of these 5 layers, I'm going to put pedal to make it sound better. So that's the foundation level, okay? Now this sounds like this. Oh my god, my hands, I need a blackboard eraser. Do you like my setting, by the way? I just changed it today. Anyway, so this is foundation level, okay? And then we add the cap, which is pedal. I keep going to phrase 2 so we can have a better idea about it. Of your foundation level. If you just want to make this piece to the foundation level, it's gonna sound like this. It's not great. It doesn't have so, you would feel like, it's not so touchy, isn't it? You feel like, it's not that expressive. Like, it doesn't feel like the music flow, but it sounds like it. Yeah, so this level, it's not very impressive. And it doesn't sound, okay? Okay, and now, for some, more musical lovers. Let's see. If on top of the foundation level, you think, it's not enough. I really want to make this piece sound much better. I want to make this piece sound like, at least I want to make it sound touchy. I want to feel it. I want to make people feel like expressive. No problem at all. But you need more layers. So, this is the foundation level. We got it already. Okay. So once you've learned it, this actually is the time you move to your practice stage. Okay. So once you've learned your foundation level, you're going to go and practice it to make it solid, to make it actually in your hand, to be, that's it. We're not talking about practice today, okay? So practice is another huge topic. Oh my god, I just realized I have so much to talk about. Sorry, I'm really my throat is not doing well. I'm not. Anyway, okay, we're not talking about practice. Okay, I have another layered method for practice. Originally, it was for my own study, and then I feel like then I was using this on my students, and then gradually people, if this could really help people to do it, and I really want my method to help other people less time wasted. So that's why I'm sharing all this stuff with you guys who are watching right now. This is at least a little bit helpful for you. Let me read the chat quickly and then I'm keep going from the foundation level to performance level, okay? Could add a live donation option in the chat via Pix. I believe this would allow you to receive more donations. Oh, find this really helpful, or if you find this tip link is but no pressure. Yeah, I'm not very good at this. I'm not very good at asking, but well, if you find this please, I love this song. Tutorial session, we are learning how to learn a piece from scratch to a performance level. So it's not a request session, okay? But welcome to come back tomorrow evening 7. If my boyfriend has a romantic date with me, probably I'm going to change the date, but I will let you know in advance, okay? But normally, if not 7 p.m. UK time. So you guys requested, and most of the song for me would be side reading, but I will try my best. Okay, so yeah, that's it. And then welcome back to my practice session as well. Like we have practice with XinRu most probably every day. Like I got a little busy these days. I got a tiny little busy this few days, so I didn't really practice much, but I need to go back to my practice, which is not best pianist on YouTube doing. I always see her here. I like you from Paris. Thank you. Amazing. Okay, thank you. You still hear me? Is every like technical thing all right? I don't want to. I don't know why this keeps stopping and why this keeps. So we come back to our topic. We talk about foundation, right? We talk about 5 layers and we finally reach our foundation level. Now we are going to move up, actually, to get our performance level, to make it sound better. Okay, so to reach our performance level, we don't do the pedal cap, so it means you're not adding pedal yet. This, but we are going to add more layers. Layer number 6. Layer number 6. Balance. Balance from this layer on. So for balance, what I mean, what I refer to is the balance. Okay, now this balance can have a lot of retu. I don't know if my pronunciation is right. I always feel weird with this word. Retu, I don't know. Anyway, it's like, for example, if you want the music to sound more melancholy, sad, deep, dramatic, desperate, you make the difference between the two hands bigger. You can make your right hand 9, left hand 1. Okay, this Clair de Lune is not very obvious for this because left hand doesn't have so many notes. Chopin E minor concerto, like 9 to 1, sounds like this. It sounds very sad, isn't it? Okay, but if I adjust my balance to melody 6, left hand background 4, it sounds like this. Just I change the balance. Well, it still sounds very beautiful, but the feeling changes. Like this one sound feels more very sad, desperate. What's that word? Sweeping. Yeah, feeling. It doesn't have that anymore. It works on a lot of pitches. Like for this one. This is the one. Like I did 1-9, then the melody sounds very crying. But if I change the balance to like 6-4, it suddenly sounds like warmer, more peaceful. It doesn't sound that sad anymore. Okay, so now we go back to Clair de Lune. This piece, for this piece, I think we probably want, for me, personal, from this stage on, okay? From this level on, this layer on, it's about personal interpretation. Pretty important. So I can do 5-5 and it's from this stage on, there is no exactly right or wrong. Like what we have is this suitable to what character you want to express, to the feelings you want to create for your audience, to the act. If I have 5-5, it sounds like making the piece sounds like peaceful, distant, serene, far away. It just doesn't give me all those feelings at all. So I want to make it sound, now it's my picture now, a streak of moonlight like in the forest, but everywhere else dark. And it sounds like this. I didn't change anything else. You got to try it out yourself. Like by the time you reach the foundation level, you probably have a picture of the music by yourself. Like you probably feel like, okay, it's the, like, for me this piece is like a moonlight on the ground and surrounded by a like dark, forest, like something like this. So I wanted to answer. You just need to try it out, and you try all the different balance. So you can try 1-9. So you can try 1 for your left hand, 9 for your right hand, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6. You just try all the different method that suits your musical picture the most, suits your atmosphere the most, or simply you feel like, okay, this fits my expectation. Then you choose it and you stick to it. Again, okay, you make your musical decision, you stick. It's not like, okay, I decide to do left hand 2, right hand 8. And then first practice I do 5-5. And I played right, my notes right, my rhythm right, everything right. So let go. No, you're actually wrong. The foundation thing, not just the note and rhythm anymore. Okay, so if you decide to make your balance 2 and right hand 8, every single time you go to make sure your practice happens the same way. That secures you what's happening on the stage or in front of people. Okay. So this is the and 2 right hand 8. And okay, for different phrase, of course it sounds different. I just realized I simply don't have enough time to explain each phrase. Maybe I should make a more detailed video to explain the whole piece about my interpretation, but that's a huge job. Anyway, let me play the first 3 phrases, and then you can hear my balance. So I chose, bear in mind, I chose left hand to be 2, right hand to be 8. Okay, so it sounds like this. Okay, I'm not adding pedal yet, okay? So this is no pedal version. Okay. Now we need another few layers to be able to reach the performance level. It's tempo. Okay, so tempo is your speed. Yeah, and at this stage, you have to choose a suitable speed, of course, based on the composer's like sometimes we varied with preference, so you kind of need to choose a speed like you actually feel like suitable for expressing the musical atmosphere. Andante, right? Andante has a range. So, like, should I do the slow andante or the fast andante, right? So now if I do slow one, then which could work. Nobody could say this is wrong, but you know, you got to know what you actually want, what picture you want. Like you could do the fast and then, but everything like the music changed a bit, right? And you couldn't tell what has been changed maybe at the beginning, but as I explained, you see, I didn't change anything else. Literally, I didn't add pedal, and I just kept what we've been designed up to layer 6, and then I changed the tempo. I used a slightly slower andante or a faster andante. You just got to, you know, same thing. Got to try the tempo out yourself and try to make it sound like the most. This is another personal interpretation, okay? It's not like right or wrong. This is just how I want it to be, how I imagine. I don't want it to be like this. I feel it's too dragging, and I don't really like stopping so much. But the truth is, the slower you do, the sadder it gets, the more miserable it gets. A bit. This probably is my tempo. Okay, again, no pedal, just what we've designed up to level 6. And then with this tempo, it sounds like this. This is what I decide. Okay, this is I choose the tempo, but you can do maybe a bit faster. So if you do this, let's see how it sounds like. 1, 2, 3. It sounds like this, but I feel this one is a little bit too lively for me. Like it doesn't fit into my musical picture, so that's why I didn't use this one. So now phrase. Okay, but it still doesn't sound like very impressive, isn't it? It doesn't sound like super nice. Like it doesn't sound like it's a natural flow. Where does the natural flow comes from? Why everybody talking about natural flow of your music? Why everybody talking about now? Let's come to the next layer. Layer number 8. Actually, to reach these layers, you have a lot of work to do, have a lot of job to do, but it is hard to make piano sounds good. Piano is fundamentally a percussion instrument, right? So to make this is very hard than other instrument. I'm a horrible singer, but if you're a singer, like it's harder for you to be expressive. Right? You don't like it's something is just naturally flowing in you because it's like naturally connected if you're using one bow or like different like keys, right? Each key is one hammer. And what we want is to connect this each single sound into a big phrase, big structure, and to make it sound expressive. This is hard. Like this is very hard to do. Singing, lyrical, and expressive. And that's why we need that. So it's not an easy job to do, but what we are doing here is to make the path clear for the path is there, and you can actually find a way of getting struggled or stuck or at certain level, and then you just really want to make yourself sounds better, but you don't know what to change. You don't know what's wrong. And what I'm doing here is that I actually hope I could, by using my method, my layered method, I could actually help those people who actually want to learn to have less struggle on your way up, and to make your music sounds better in a clear, structured way. Okay. Well, if you find this straight, and every little, all the tip links is down below in the description box, and also it's in the pinned chat. So if you want to, no pressure, of course, but every support really means a whole world to me. And also you could join our membership, and our membership gets priority requests in our request session, get special perks, get to participate the poll and to vote what are we talking about in our tutorial. Layer number 8. Phew, we have a line. Like a line, you imagine you drawing a line with your notes. Like we use Clair de Lune, okay? So Debussy didn't write anything on our shape. He didn't tell us we want to make it sounds better, right? So we need a shape. Because think of it, when we actually speak, like we naturally has a shape of our speaking. If I don't have a shape, my speak would be like this, and then everybody finds it boring, and you don't know where the same relate. Like, be aware of it. Okay, normally we have 4 shapes. Normally, okay, so shape 1, 4. Okay, we can have shape number 1. We can have a going up shape for one phrase. Yeah, each phrase has a shape. Okay. Number 2, going down one, of course. Number 3, we have a U shape. Number 4, we can have a mountain shape. With each of the shape from shape number 1. So I will keep everything still. So this doesn't mean you go from this. Doesn't mean you go from PP right to a double F. Nope. What you do, you have a shape within the area, the range of your PP. So you still do PP, but just from the range of your PP. This is your PP, and then you go from the bottom of your PP, maybe slightly louder than PPP, to the bottom of the shape number 1. It sounds like this. Phrase 1, okay? On top of the previous 7 layers, okay? So every layer is adding on top of the previous one. Yeah? Okay. Now, first shape. Shape number 1. Shape number 2, we have a downward shape. Arch shape. Shape you like the most out of this 4. But personally, I chose number 4. I always like arch shape, and most of the time it makes the phrase sounds very natural, makes the flow sounds better, and makes a phrase sounds like complete. Okay, so that's my arch shape. I'm going to choose my arch shape. And then we have layer number 9, which is the last layer we need to add. Okay, so you actually have number 9, sorry, on top of. Maybe many people don't hear of this, but imagine this is like the breath. Imagine this is a singer actually singing a song, and the singer has to take breath in between phrases, right? And even sometimes if it's a long phrase, and the singer take a very short breath. If it's a big ending of the one big phrase, the singer take a bigger breath, isn't it? So it's like we say, 让我们荡起双桨，小船儿推开波浪。Like we take a breath, okay? Let me use another song. I'm a horrible singer, okay? Bear with me. I'm a good pianist, but I'm a very bad singer. Okay, let's see. Happy birthday to you. And then we take a short breath, right? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. We don't do this, right? Okay, so what is called breath in singing? No short phrase. You actually want to take a comma. So you want to take a small breath. And then so between this beginning to this small breath, you use one power instead of putting two power on. For example, if I put a different power on each note, this piece will sound like this. And everything else before is the same, okay? So the shape, everything. But I just put, it sounds like. I added every layers we talk about. I even added the shape. So after the foundation level, I added the balance, I added the tempo, I added the shape. But just what I did was I kind of use a new strength for each single note. It sounds like this. It doesn't sound very powerful and very expressive. Of course it doesn't sound. Okay, now what do we want to do? We want da 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 da, a little bit, but not fully back. And then da 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 da. Another small like strength back a little bit, but not like fully relaxed. And then keep going. Da 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 da. A very short and keep going. Da 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 da. Here you can take a complete breath. Start your second phrase. So here it's like happy birthday to you. Twinkle twinkle little star, how I wonder where. Twinkle twinkle little star. You take a short little breath, right? And how I wonder where you are. Da 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 da. Your strength flow. This piece now sounds like this. Okay. If you get after here, you get your performance level. It's ready to perform. But new practice, of course. Anyway, without pedal now, okay? No pedal, but with all the 9 layers. Sounds like this. Okay, sounds like this. This is without pedal, okay? So, up to here, up to this layer number 9, congratulations. You reach your performance level. Okay, so this is the tower. We had the pyramid, foundation level. We are here now, okay? We got the foundation. We are here now. The artistry level. That's even harder, okay? We need to add more layers, but we're not talking about getting artistry level today. We stop at performance level today, okay? I will run other sessions to talking about how to go from performance level to artistry level, what layers we need to add on top of that, but not for today, okay? So, yeah, but it sounds very impressive already. So, once you get your performance level, and then you think, okay, I can stop here. I don't want to like add more layers on top to make it to perfect this piece, because the higher you go, like layers very hard to achieve. You probably put more time, but get like a small layers add up, like the from level 1 to level 10, same as everything. Yeah. Okay. So if you say, okay, I don't want to like put so much time to reach artistry level anymore, then on top of this, you add your cap. What is it? Your cap is your pedal. So you remain everything you've designed, you've practiced, and you've secured for your level 1, and then this piece sounds like this. Level, and I didn't really learn this piece very much, so I only got myself up to a performance level. But normally if I'm going to play this piece, if I'm going to play a piece for a concert, I normally get myself to the artistry, so I didn't spend so much time on it. I'm actually going to play Beethoven. Opus 81A for my next month. I've got distracted. Yeah. So I didn't. Back to Clair de Lune. This is the performance level. Okay, it doesn't sound too bad. It sounds like impressive, but sounds like quite expressive. But it, like, for most of us, probably is. Hey everyone. That's all. That's all for today. And do you have any question? Do you want to? Please, can you help me? Yes, I can. Like, how do you want me to help you? Is there any sport or anything in which Asians are on? That's what I want to talk for today. So today, just some quick summary. We used Debussy Clair de Lune. We were talking about my layered learning method to the top, and then on top of it, we cap it with the pedal, and then it sounds pretty good if you say. And yeah, hopefully that's helpful. And this same method can be used to every single piece. Okay, every piece you learn, you follow this step, you follow this layer, you add one layer on top of it in the order, and you will. Hopefully this is helpful today. And as I said, if you would love to hear more from me, and if you like this live stream, welcome to support me or super sticker, super chat, and thanks very much for your support. Okay, now I think we'll be finishing here. Hope this is helpful for everyone, and have a lovely morning, evening, and afternoon. Bye. Wonderful, sentimental. Thank you. When do you play Debussy? Yeah, I just played Debussy. This is well, I didn't play so many Debussy music. I grew up, so this is just one. If you have time, Wednesday 7 p.m. we will have a tutorial session, and hopefully I can see you there.